5 secrets of public speakers.
What do I say?
DanMcConnorTraining.com.
I used to do a lot of speaker training, and when I would go in, we would always start with these things because these are things you can do, bam. And the 5 secrets are going to be, number 1, you have to have your secret opener. Number 2, you have to have your secret closer. Number 3, you have to ask the right questions. Number 4, you have to make the PEC. And number 5, you have to get your Q&A session right.
This video will focus on just the opener and the secrets to delivering a knockout one.
Number 1, authenticity is key. Number 2, you just start in. Number 3, call people out. Number 4, don't hide behind the podium. And number 5, ditch the PowerPoint of death. All right, let me cover each one of those. Number 1, authenticity is key. Do not worry about being perfect. When I do speaker training, one of the first hurdles we all had to get over, I had to get over it, was stop trying so hard to be perfect. You know, if you have a lesson that you're supposed to deliver or points that you're supposed to deliver, an agenda, you'll get there. You'll get it out. You know, if you are already on that stage or that podium, or if you have been entrusted with that type of job, if you're even in the interview, it's because you know how to do that. You have the knowledge, you can impart it, that's fine. So don't worry about the technical things. You know, we've all seen a million different teachers. It's the ones that touch us that we want to see more of, we want to learn more from. And, you know, I've had, as I'm sure you have, teachers who are not what you would call firecrackers, you know what I mean, in the personality department, but I'm transfixed with what they say because it's them and me. You know, I'm there having a conversation with them. And you know those speakers who can do that, who they have a conversation with 500 people, 5,000 people? It's because they're so authentic. They are speaking the same way to that 5,000 crowd as they would to one person. So the only way we can do that is if we are totally ourselves. And that's in itself, that's difficult to do in any situation in life. I mean, you know, when are we truly exposing ourselves as who we are? You know what I mean? When do we truly stand in front of other people and say, here it is, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly? Very rare. So to do it in front of a whole crowd, that's why public speaking is so highly paid when it's done well, and why it's such an elusive thing, you know, to find that perfect speaker or trainer. It's the ones who are so genuine, they just can't help but be themselves. And that's what makes us connect with them. But it sounds like a, you know, catch-22. It takes practice being that genuine, you know what I mean? It takes practice to be so unscripted or authentic. But we'll talk as we go through this how to do that, how to release your inner self, okay? How to expose yourself to an entire audience.
What?
Number 2.
What did he just say?
Just start in.
Talking about exposing yourself to a group of people. I thought this was a family event.
What? I'd like you to go on a journey with me. Good morning, everybody.
Kiss Mike.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Oh, come on, I said good morning. That's terrible. Sound familiar? I'm going to give you a danger phrase before I give you the secret. Danger phrase, good morning. Don't ever say that again at the beginning of a presentation. If you give a training session or a course or anything that begins with, good morning, all right, good morning, we will associate that speaker or trainer or whoever the person is in front of us. As soon as they open up their mouths, we are going to judge them. You know, am I going to enjoy this presentation? Am I going to like you? Do I like you? You know, am I going to sit through this whole presentation, or am I already sending a text message to my friend, make sure to call me in about 20 minutes so that I can pull the old, a phone, I forgot to turn off my phone. Hello, I'll be right there. I gotta go. Would you can I get the resources that go along with this? And is there a video of this? Okay, I'll get that later. Goodbye. You know what I mean? If you're a kindergarten teacher, that's where you would say things like, you know, oh, good morning, everybody have a seat. Oh, come on, you know, let's all settle down now. They're going to put you in a category as soon as you start speaking. If I'm looking to get awesome sales numbers, if I'm looking to get 1,000 leads at a trade show where I'm giving a presentation, if I'm looking to have our signups double for the next course that I'm about to give, or if I'm, as a corporate trainer, if I'm looking to get people excited about my training, all of these tips will do just that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what your goal is. Your opener is going to set the tone for the whole shebang. Here's how to do it. You ready? Now this is, I don't know if everybody can handle this, so send the kids to bed. Okay, we're going to pretend that I'm walking up, just because I don't want to move all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so I'm going to pretend when I'm wheeling up here, I'm sliding, I'm doing the slide, pretend I'm walking, okay?
Why is he staring at me? What's going on?
Mary? That's your name, right?
Yeah, that's my name.
Mary!
Oh, geez. Okay.
Mary, what time is it?
It's 11:15.
11:15. At 11:15, Central Standard. Here's opening with a statistic. Okay? Same thing. Pretend I just walk up, okay? %. That's what I said, John. 16%.
Wait, who's John?
16%.
I'm Johnny over
That's
here.
the percentage of sales, both of materials and on-site training seminars and workshops and keynote presentations that I got for mobile devices 1 year ago today. Mary,
Me again?
what's your guess as to what it would be today?
What? Why me?
All right, that's opening with a statistic. Gets the left-hand side of the brain going and the right-hand side of the brain going. Now I'm going to show you how to open with a story. You ready? Look for the patterns, okay?
Well, he keeps calling on me. That's a pattern.
Here I go. If you've ever heard the train that hits right before a tornado, you know the sound. Even the first time you hear it is unmistakable. And as soon as I heard it, I went into the bathroom. What people want to see is somebody who's confident, they know what they're doing, they're not nervous laughing or, telling people to say good morning to them 3 times and people could do better than that. What will project that you are confident and then make people feel like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about or this lady knows what she's talking about, is that type of opener where you're not going to do it anything like anybody else. You're going to stand up there and you are so confident. You don't need to say a word. When you can do that, when you can stand up there, you take a deep breath, you check them out, you survey your people, and then you just start out as if you're in the middle of a story. That's what just start in means, you start right in, because then people will feel from the very first second that you open up your mouth, like, God, I better hang on and pay attention, because they're just right in there. And it helps you get to your first point quicker, so that people are feeling like there's meat here to get, you know what I mean? When you walk up there, if you can get somebody to introduce you, that's ideal. If you can get somebody to stand up there and say, hey, everybody, hey, remember we got the training session today? So, Dan O'Connor's going to be here. He knows a little bit about tactical communication and difficult people. So everybody have a seat. It's going to be about an hour long. Dan's been doing this for about 10, 20, 30 years. And if you can hold your questions till the end, we'll all get out of here in an hour, Not the big, not generally people won't give you, if it's a training session, they won't give you a star-studded red carpet intro if they're not used to it. That's okay, because what they just did is all of the common stuff. They did all of the commoner work. They did what you call the housekeeping work. You don't want to stand up and the first thing you do is present yourself as a housekeeper. I'm not there to be a housekeeper. You know what I mean? Great job, wrong venue. So if you stand up and start telling people how long it's going to be, how long you've been doing this, you introduce yourself. When is the last time you heard, someone who's really important to introduce themselves? So if you can get somebody to do that for you, do that. And why, by the way, when I talk about, you want to, present yourself as the important person or the star, what I mean is you are there to impart great knowledge on these people. The biggest hurdle so many people face is getting people to pay attention to them. You know what I mean? Getting people to not fidget, not talk, not, just to have a crowd that's there with you. And to do that, they have to believe this person's something special. And the truth of the matter is, if you're a good teacher in any way, if you're a good communicator, a good person, people will always see that by the time they get done talking with you, because we all are super special. But we don't always know that right off the bat. You know what I mean? That this person is worth listening to. They have a story. They have a message. They know something. So if you present yourself as a housekeeper, why would they want to learn technical analysis of the stock market from a housekeeper? They're here to learn that from the expert. When somebody introduces you, they cover all that housekeeping stuff, what time, breaks, how long, turn off your cell phones, all that. And the simple fact that they introduce you makes it appear as though you are more important. And they get that job out of the way. If you have to get up and say, my name is Dan O'Connor, if that's your name, please remember at least not to say my name is. At least say, I'm so-and-so. It's a big difference. We talked about that in other lessons. Remember, don't try and get people's attention. Don't give a little short tale of who you are and what you're there to do today. Whatever you're going to say, start it. Oh look, Maggie's joining us today, and she's bringing an offering. Hi, Maggie. Come on. Maggie wants to say hi. Come here, Max. Come here. Oh, my goodness. That's such a nice offering you have. Oh, no, she's not giving it to me. She's just presenting it. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, my gosh. Did you get a new hairdo? Oh, it's so becoming on you. Okay, thank you for presenting that to me. Okay, I love you too. Goodbye. Goodbye. See ya. Goodbye. Bye. She likes to stop in and visit, as a treat for me. Okay. And there's Buddy. Hey, come here, Buddy. Here he is. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, that's Buddy. Oh, my goodness. So this is my guy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you look handsome too. You look like an English lord. We gotta get you a haircut. Oh yes, you do like your haircut. Yes, I am. You're looking like a little hippie. You are. No, you're not. You were born in the 60s. You silly doggy. Come on. Okay. Where's Maggie? Oh! Honey. Okay, go on. Go on, baby. Go on. Go on. Okay. Walk up to your space. Do not stand behind a podium. If you stand behind a podium, you are putting a barrier between you and everybody else in that room. Remember, physical barriers lead to communication barriers. You do not want to put a barrier between you and everybody else. I go so far, and I recommend you do this if you can, as to take off my glasses because it creates a barrier. The more things between you and the people, the harder it will be for you to connect. And so I know it seems silly to say, well, your glasses, if you wear glasses all the time, it seems, silly to take them off. Makes a difference. Everything makes a difference. And a barrier makes a huge difference because most people will hide behind that podium. And they're literally, by doing it, number one, they're saying, help me, I'm scared, and they're hiding. But number two, they're saying, I am separate from you all. That's not a way you want to start. If you need a place to put your stuff, you can put it on a podium. If there's a podium up there, like if there's a stage and a podium, and they've obviously set it up for you, and you show up and you're like, oh, I don't want to insult them by saying, take this podium and, shove it. Stand next to it. At least during your opener, stand next to it. You can even lean on it. You can brace yourself on it. You look cool and casual and comfortable. Just don't stand behind it. If you need to put something on it and stand behind it every now and then, you can walk behind it. You can gallivant behind it. You can stroll from one end to the other. I'm not a big fan of walking around an audience too much because what will happen is people will, whether they're eating or sitting or whatever it is, if you walk around, that's going to mean that many of the people in the audience are going to have to turn around or turn their neck to see you. And no matter how much I love you as a speaker or trainer, if I'm in the audience and you're doing that, I'm going to come to a point just out of physical necessity where I'm going to sit and be like, I'm just going to soak it in, with my ears because I can't turn around like that anymore. You know, come on. I could 20 years ago, can't now. So I want to I want to make it clear I'm comfortable in that spot at the front of the room. I can stand up there even in silence for a moment. I'm so comfortable that I can start out without setting things up like a kindergarten teacher. I am so comfortable that I'm going to call you up by name. And speaking of looking confident and, you know, having people think, wow, this is going to be awesome. The last of the 5 things is this. Don't do death by PowerPoint. If you're going to be using a PowerPoint, keep it hidden during your opener, really, because as soon as people see the PowerPoint thing, they want to hurl. Now, you'll see that a lot of my videos, I use, what do you call them, flip charts. That was, by the way, 15 years ago. But to this day, I'll still use a flip chart in a pinch because you should be able to deliver your entire presentation. That's one of the first things I ever learned. Don't rely on that technology because if you do, no matter what the technology is, if you do, you will live to regret it. You will have one of those experiences where you're going, just a second, can we get AV in here? Okay, it'll just be a minute, I guess. You know what I mean? But if no matter what happens, if you can stand up in front of the room and deliver your whole presentation from beginning to end with nothing but a glass of water, you're golden, and the nerves will fall away because you'll think, what could possibly go wrong? I can do this. I'm having a conversation with these people about something I know. I can do that. You know, the sheer act of getting up and exposing yourself is difficult, but it's doable when you are confident that all of the technical stuff, you got it. So if you implement those 5 technical things, it just makes the whole rest of the presentation a breeze. Now that was just one secret. I know I threw a lot in there, but the opener, that's one secret. In our next lesson, we're moving along to secret number 2. But before we go there, before we do that, remember that's tomorrow, by the way. Remember, if you want more of this, if you want the whole enchilada, come sign up for our course. It's going to be fun and you'll learn a lot. Or if you know somebody who does a lot of training or speaking and has a lot of anxiety or just wants to get higher evals or sell more, have them sign up because they will guaranteed do that. Or whether you're having a conversation with 5,000 people or one person, if you can be authentic, remember who you are, why you're here, and what you want. Keep your head about you when everyone around you is losing theirs, which is exactly what seems to be happening these days. You and I together, we can elevate this global conversation that needs a lot of help and change the global dialogue. One conversation at a time. Step number 1, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Once you've done that, go to my website and download your free communication starter kit because if you haven't yet downloaded it, I'm guessing you're taking the bait a little bit more than you'd like to both at work and at home. And once you've done that, come back and watch more of these great videos either here on my website